Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Wanja, and welcome to Wanja's World. In the year 2023, I'm planning on being more intentional about what I feed my family and what I put on our tables. And one of the things that we're going to tackle is hot cocoa mix. We love a good hot cocoa mix, and we have hot cocoa throughout the day, especially now when it's cold outside. Hot cocoa is amazing. So, the good thing about this hot cocoa mix is that if you make it yourself, you know exactly what's in it. You're able to regulate the sugar, you regulate the milk, and you know just exactly what's in it. And the plus is that it does not have preservatives. Now, this mix can be made with hot water, it can be mixed with hot milk, it can be mixed with a mixture of hot water and hot milk. I mean, the world is your oyster where this mix is concerned. So once again, thanks for hanging out with me as I make this hot cocoa mix. I hope you get a chance to try it. And if you do, leave me a comment and tell me if you love it and what it is you changed. And maybe we can learn something from each other. Thanks once again. First ingredient we're going to need is sugar, and this is where you start customizing the mix. So I'm going to use 3 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm also going to use 1 cup of granulated sugar. And to be honest, you can use 4 cups of powdered sugar. I don't know why I insist on adding granulated sugar. It makes me feel better. Maybe it's just a personal thing. But if you do 4 cups of granulated sugar, that's fine. If you find it too sweet, you can take that down and use as little as you want. You could use 2 cups, you could use 3 cups, but for this case and for my family, we like 4 cups of sugar. We find that just goes down really well. So I'm going to put in 4 cups of powdered sugar. Remember to use a sieve. Remember to use a strainer, because powdered sugar is usually really lumpy and you don't want those lumps to get into your mix. And to that, I'm going to add 3 cups of non-fat dry milk. Now, the reason why I'm using non-fat milk is because non-fat milk tends to be a bit more shelf stable than full-fat dry milk. However, you can use full-fat dry milk, but remember, if you do, your mix will only be as shelf stable as the date on your milk. And here I'm using Ghirardelli Dutch processed cocoa, only the best. Now, I'm only going to use 3/4 of a cup because we don't like for our hot cocoa mix to be really cocoa forward, if you know what I mean. And Dutch processed cocoa is really, really strong. If you put too much, you're going to have a very strong aftertaste. And so we find that 3/4 works perfectly for us. You could take this all the way up to 1 cup if you like, but I'd advise not to put more than a cup. And yes, we're going to add salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. You will not taste the salt, but I guarantee you that the salt is such an essential ingredient because it's going to help you to feel the flavors of everything else. Salt is just amazing in that way. Now, strain everything and make sure that you don't make a mess, because this can get messy real fast. So strain it, and all the little lumps that are going to be left behind in your strainer, you're going to toss those. Don't try and force those through the strainer because they make your mix really gritty in the end and give you a funny mouth feel when you take your cocoa. So you see all that? That's what I'm talking about. Just toss that and dump it. Then give this a good mix using a whisk. Mix it, mix it, mix it. Again, like I always say, if you like mixing, this is a recipe for you. Now, here I am. I'm going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar. Again, you don't have to add granulated sugar. You can just go with powdered sugar, and it's going to be a-okay. So that's 1 cup of granulated sugar. That brings the total number of cups of sugar that I've used to 4. And then I have this wonderful mason jar that I got at TJ Maxx on sale. It is wonderful. It's huge, and it takes all this hot cocoa mix and doesn't even fill up to the brim. Now, this takes us about 2 weeks, and that is with heavy consumption. So if you don't take as much hot cocoa as we do, this could last you anywhere up to a month. And the investment in buying these things the first time that you buy them It might look like it's a bit more expensive, but given just how many jars of hot cocoa you get from this set of ingredients, it does make financial sense. So I'm gonna put that in the jar, and look at that, it comes out beautifully. That's a shot of all the ingredients that you're gonna need. Take a screenshot when you go shopping so that you know what to get and you don't leave anything behind.